Oh, hi guys. This is going back to my video I did about greasing bearings, seal bearings. This bearing is off an idler on the 4400. There's nothing wrong with the pulley. The bearing was just a little bit dry. So, what you do, get yourself a 1/16 inch drill bit. Pick a spot in the side shield, like so. Drill a little hole. Take your hypodermic grease needle, like this. Stick it in and work a little bit of grease in there. Then take your can of ether and a rag, clean the hole off. Then you just take you a spot of Permatex, like so. And simply work it down on that hole like that. And it's done. Let that set up, put it back on the combine. It'll last you another few, well, probably longer than that. But that's probably $50, $60 pulley to replace that. All you need is one of these $8 hydraulic $8 hypodermic grease needles, a 1/16 inch drill bit. You drill just a little bitty hole, take your time, pump some grease in it, work it around. I know this is full because it had grease come out the back, so I know it's got grease in it now, and it'll last a good long time. So just another tip from me to you, how to save a little money on these machines, just doing a little basic greasing, you might say. So we'll see you next time, guys. Oh, should have added, if you use a Permatex that sticks out like orange on this green, I say 4 or 5 years down the road, you can come back, wipe that, take your knife and pluck that Permatex off and re-grease it. Permatex, clean it back up, put some Permatex on it, good to go again. Figured I better add that. We'll see you next time, guys. Well, if you can see it or not, the seat is back in the cab. All the belts are now on. I've adjusted these belts. Only real thing left to do is grease this side and put the tire back on. And it's done for. Yeah, I know I'm done for. It's been a lot of work, and I still got a couple of things I'm going to change up here. These hydraulic lines are a bit of a joke. To try to reach up under here. Now mind you, right where I'm standing, I couldn't stand because of the tire. Now the bad thing is, on this end, you have to push this collar back to push the end in. It won't pull forward. And the other hose here, that's as far as it comes out, and it's a to say short, that's an understatement. And like I say, I moved this one up here turned it around, it was aiming backwards. Bad thing is these are O-ring, both of them. So I got to come up with some fittings to go from O-ring to pipe, and then change these ends, because this one leaks, and this one needs to be a push-pull to make it easier to hook up. Those are going to get changed. There's no two ways about it. That's got to be changed. I'm not going to stand for half an hour trying to get fittings hooked up that shouldn't take but a minute to do. But, well, hi guys. It's Sunday afternoon. The 6th of September. I just got done greasing everything over here and getting the wheel put back on. I got to give it that final oomph with the breaker bar to make sure it's good and tight. I came back to jack the back end up. I was going to block it up so I can take kind of, I don't want to say get the wheels off, but I need to get it jacked up, and I want to take those braces loose and check and see how much movement there is in this axle. Now if there's not much movement in it, I may take those off, because I really don't see that big of, if the axle's tight, I don't see much of the need of them being there, to be honest. I may be wrong, but it's kind of in that really need to check it out and make sure kind of deal, yeah, I'd rather check and make sure, know for sure, and go from there. If it's got some wobble to it, okay, I'll put them back together, but I'm going to loosen them up to where they're not banjo string tight, where it's got some give to it. Because right now, that axle doesn't want to move much at all. Plan is get it jacked up, get the weight off the axle, set it down on blocks, and kind of go from there. But I'm going to for sure move this back axle in. Maybe a pain in the butt to do. Take that bolt completely out, shine the shaft up here to where this will slide, move it in one hole, because one hole equals one hole here on both sides, bringing it in. That may be 3-4 inches, but that gets the tire away from the outside of the drive tire, as you can kind of tell. Gets it more centered. So, my jack won't raise any higher. In some place I have a can of hydraulic jack oil, but I can't find it. Which means I'm probably going to have to run uptown and get one. Pain in the butt, but what else do you do? So we'll be back here in a bit, guys. So hang on. Okay. Get this out of the way. Now, one of the things I need to do, get this bolt out. It doesn't feel at all groovy. Oh, good grief. This could be a moot point at this point. Something tells me she's not going to want to separate. But we'll see. I just have this feeling she's going to be a tight one. So we need to get a little wet soaking. And now start taking bolts out. Woohoo! We'll be back here in a moment, guys. Well, don't that look odd? I got that rascal to move, believe it or not. So, ratchet chain binder worked. It moved, I greased it, slid it together. Now, I just got to move this axle in one hole and bolt it back together, then take this side apart. So we'll be back here in a minute, guys, once I figure out how I'm going to move it. Hang on, we'll be right back. Okay, I figured out a good way. Good way to cheat. And voila! I like it. That looks a lot better up through there now. Wouldn't you agree? Three inches, 4 inches don't sound like much until you see it. It makes a big difference. So I'm going to start bolting the axle back together and move to the other side. Now that I know how to do this a lot easier. Thank God for chain binders and chains and binders. We'll see you here in a bit, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Batteries died. But I'm going to call it a day here. I've got to go over that axle with a big breaker bar, tighten all those bolts up good and tight, and just kind of go over a few things with it. Get those adjusting trailing arms fixed, tightened up. But now that back tire is more centered up on the front one, and I like that idea a lot better than it being all the way out. So we're going to call it here, guys, and it is Labor Day weekend. It's Monday, so I came up, see if this would move, give it one more try. I've got it done. So I'm going to head to the house and I'm going to grill out tonight. So we'll see you next time, and as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. As I say, work on this old girl is winding down, you might say, on my project list that I needed to do to it. Go over this, get this all tightened up and grease the back end, and machine wise she's pretty much ready to go. Lights will be next. So we'll see you next time, guys.